Can you spend a little time just telling us about your career path and how you ended up where you ended up in this role? And like where, all of you, yeah. But we can start with you, Erin. Where'd you go to school? What'd you major in? How'd you end up in homes?
Yeah. I started building in 1988, as a lot of young men do right out of high school. So I'm in a position in my age. And I went to school at Western and got a degree in cultural anthropology. I took that overseas, joined the Peace Corps, built schools and teachers' houses in Central Africa, a country called Gabon. I was there for 2.5 years and came back and got involved in banking. I was in banking for 10 years, left that, and with a sabbatical in between where I went back in the Peace Corps in East Timor, and had a really interesting experience in the truth and reconciliation process as East Timor was trying to reconcile the genocide that they went through with the Indonesian occupiers. That was in 2003, 4. Came back, finished up banking, and then started this endeavor with a colleague of mine, Sam Lai. We started from an environmental perspective, but over time we're taking it to where we're at today. So urban infill development, deep green, net zero energy homes, net zero energy ready homes, and now trying to bring affordability into that component and then start working with others to help them.
I graduated from SPU in 2013.
She's wearing the maroon.
Oh, yeah. And my major was educational ministry with double minors in reconciliation studies and women's studies. I did not think I was going to go into social services. I thought I was going to graduate and become a pastor. And I was asked actually by a friend of mine who was working at Friends of Youth right after I had graduated. She had asked me if I would apply for a position called the Safe Place Liaison. And that particular position was working with young people experiencing homelessness who had left their home, had run away from home, were in the juvenile, what I would call injustice system, and basically helping young people access shelter services or family reunification. And so I was doing that for a little while and then was offered an opportunity, still at Friends of Youth, to be a community advocate. So I was working with survivors of commercial sexual exploitation in North and East King County and in South King County as well. Working with young people ages 12 to 24 who had been exploited through the commercial sex trade in this community, and kind of walking alongside survivors and supporting them and accessing what they needed. So helping reducing barriers that the larger systems and social welfare kind of puts up so that survivors can't get what they need. And then after that, I was manager in a few different realms, overseeing our shelter and outreach programs, and then ended up in this role, which I never thought I was going to be in a director position, but my interest in kind of shaping policy and shaping organizational policy to be more culturally responsive to the needs of youth of color and LGBTQ youth really kind of prompted me in applying for this position. So now I get to work with a team of almost 100 people and helping kind of navigate the waters and making sure that our services are actually supporting the needs of the young people that we see on a day-to-day basis.
And I also went to SPU, graduated in 2009. Actually had 2 majors, one in Otto Miller Hall. I was a physics major, and at the same time I was a theology major. I had 3 internships in college. 2 were at a nonprofit down in Arizona called Food for the Hungry, which is a relief and development nonprofit. For one of those, I got to work in their music program, so I was working with the bands that they kind of contracted with to promote their child sponsorship program. That led to some very interesting activities for my internship that I didn't expect. And then I had another internship with a semiconductor company for the physics side of my degree. Two majors, pretty disparate, so I ended up teaching English as my first job out of college. So I was in AmeriCorps actually for 2 years at my organization, World Relief Seattle. Something I never expected to do, but totally fell in love with refugees there, and knew that that was where my calling lied. So I went to grad school after finishing AmeriCorps. I got my master's degree in international studies, and then ended up returning after that to run the English program at World Relief, and then, like you, shifted around to a couple of different manager positions before applying for the director position when my boss retired last year.